All right, Coach, it's been a wet and dreary day by the shores of Lake Erie, but we have football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. The folks here in Cleveland, even though all the down years, have never stopped supporting their hometown guys, and we got evidence of that a moment ago as the Browns made their entrance. They are ready to do battle with the Seattle Seahawks. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Now Wilson on first down. And his first look is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. Rolling to his right. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but we'll leave them now with a 3rd down situation.
A gain of 4, and it's 3rd down.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Play action. It's Wilson. He'll buy some time right. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48. Of course, they have the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Mayfield gives this one to Hunt. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on 1st down.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. They get the first. The decision to run on 3rd and medium winds up being a good one. Now after the run by Hunt, here's 1st and 10. They'll try to throw here. Mayfield. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Towards the end zone for Brown. Antonio Brown 34 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start first and 10. He'll have a first down past the 40. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another first and 10. Here's Wilson. To the right side, incomplete to Metcalf. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
A gain of 12.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. They go play action now. Wilson on the move to his left. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. After the incomplete pass, here now is second and 10. To throw again, Wilson. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 31-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on first and 10. This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. Refusing to go down. And some room to maneuver. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Chris Carson, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive.
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play that time for Cleveland. 51 yards.
First down. First and 10 at the 24-yard.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's first and 10 just outside the red zone. On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two.
At the Seahawks' 25-yard line.
Set, 180. Like 5-4. I got one. Real. I got
On second and 11 now. Mayfield. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. The former number 1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney, able to record his 5th sack of the season. Mayfield and this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. 3rd and long for Mayfield. Over the middle, that's caught by Taylor. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to about the 19.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 28-yard line.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll toss it out to Carson. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, pounced right back on it, keeps possession. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. With it is Brown. 10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. On to the second from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. It's Hunt, and he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Right there. Let's go.
They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. The tackle made by K.J. Wright.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
I'm coming, baby.
On 3rd and 1, here's Mayfield. They'll go screen here to Hunt. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Kareem Hunt, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
They'll roll him out right. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, let's give some credit to the defense. They did a nice job there as they flushed him to his right. But he is able to buy some time, extend the play, and turn it into a short gain.
They go play action with Wilson. He's going to wind up and air it out. That's caught at the 25. It's a big play there for Seattle. 46 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
On first down, it's Carson, and he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Chris Carson with his second touchdown here in this first half, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. They have to be pleased with the way that they moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. Odell Beckham Jr. past the 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, 78 yards. And the Browns are able to strike quickly for 6. The electric OBJ, the short reception, and then he did the rest of the work himself.
You know, there's a thing that the players always talk about, the coaches in the league, they call it play speed. Because, you know, we have that time speed when we're running the 40s at the combine and, you know, in pro days and all of that. But play speed is different. And OBJ's play speed is some of the best in the league. In other words, when he has the ball in his hands or he's running a route, he runs it just a little bit harder than most people, and oftentimes you come up wrong on your angles trying to tackle him.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match than a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
13 yards. And the Seahawks
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Wilson. They'll run the screen with Carson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
First down, Seahawks.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Left side complete to Lockett. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1 at the 30.
Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. They go read option with Wilson. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Wilson being chased out. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body. Picked off at the 17. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Brad McDougald. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Sliding out of the pocket. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Olivier Vernon in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. The rookie DK Metcalf, the intended receiver, but now it'll be 3rd down. And the Seahawks on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. Now it's Wilson. Flush to his right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Now Brown. It's a 45-yard punt and 8 on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Less than 30 seconds to go in the half. Pretty good starting field position, all things considered. You'd think they definitely have time to get to field goal range.
Yes, and you get into the huddle or you come off the bench here and you've called multiple plays because you're going to say, this is how we're going to run them in order, guys. You don't have time for audibles. You don't have time to change anything. You're trying to get the ball in position to at least get 3. They've got a great shot to do it.
Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is taken at the 3.
Any return to get you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Mayfield. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
But, partner, anytime someone tells me that fundamentals are leaving the game, I'm going to show them this play because they couldn't get to the passer. So what do you have to do? Get your hands up in the passing lane, and they batted it away on a 3rd down attempt.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Wilson back into his end zone. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And he's able to get him a small cushion before being taken down at the 5, a gain of 3.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Dancing to his left. He may try and run for this. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
That's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Greedy Williams, the rookie out of LSU, there to knock it away.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
47-yard punt, a return of 4. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are.
Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield. That's Ziggy Ansah, the number 5 pick in 2013, credited with a sack. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Throwing, Mayfield. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. A big play that time for Cleveland. 55 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Antonio Brown, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. To throw is Wilson. Going to throw again. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Denzel Ward.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Whip, 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 whip. Watch the whip. Run, run, run. Done.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turned into a nice play.
The Browns send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt.
6 guys.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Let's go, let's go.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And this has not been their best half so far. They're down double digits already and now forced to operate from inside their own 5.
And what they have to do now is not curse their fate as much as focus on the task at hand. Inside their own 5-yard line, they've got to be careful of taking care of the football and not turning it over for the defense to score additional points.
At the 8-yard line.
Squeeze. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D. Check, check. Lucky. There.
Looking to throw again on second down. Wilson, and he'll go down in the end zone. Down goes Wilson. It's a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Alert.
They run again with Hunt. Tackle made by Ziggy Ansah.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Set, 180. 54. Alert. Regular. Check 50. Up. Watch the shoot.
Third and short yardage. Mayfield. He gets it to Brown. Complete. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. Mayfield now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Mayfield now. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Well, those two have hooked up for a touchdown once already in this game, that time unable to find the completion.
Yeah, it just appeared they wanted to get him out into open space and try and get him the football. As you mentioned, unable to connect.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Real. Check 13. Pistol.
Mayfield now from the 50. Over the middle of the backfield. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20. A give right side now to Hunt. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now Mayfield. Going deep here for Taylor. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Tedrick Thompson picks it. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter defensively. They did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10.
Go.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. This is Carson. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Wilson now off the bootleg. Buying time to his left. And he's out of bounds, but not before a big pickup that time on what's going to wind up being the final play of the third quarter. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4.
Zebra. Check 9. Check 3. 36. Check.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
55. Alert. Kill. Hold. 18.
Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Rolling to his left. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Morgan Burnett. And a very good return as he'll take it all the way up to the 40-yard line. They set themselves behind the chains, tried to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
Well, here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle, and able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there of 22. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school. Regular.
From the gun, Mayfield. Staying on his feet. And a big loss here as he's taken down. With a sack, it's Ziggy Ansah.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. They'll toss it to Hunt. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Despite a pickup of 16, they're still well short of the sticks on fourth. The Browns send out their punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. Steps away to his left. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
The best quarterbacks that ever played the game all wanted to blend in with their teammates and be one of the guys. But sometimes you got to take modesty and put it aside. You're the franchise quarterback, the face of the team, and the guy that leads them to victory. You have to get down and protect yourself and not take hits like that.
To the right side and complete to Metcalf. And now the rookie's free. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just one remaining here in this 4th quarter. So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long?
44, Mike.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And that will be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. That's taken on the 25. Well, a nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Browns drive about to get started. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and give these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. They'll run on 1st down. Hunt. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And down to the 19-yard line. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know. Well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
From the red zone now, Mayfield. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Taywan Taylor, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Here we go.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw, so maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
On first down, Carson. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. From the 45 on 2nd down, Wilson. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now a play fake here on first down. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And this is picked up by the Browns. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold them to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run.
Set, 180. Mike's back forward. Watch the run, watch the run.
On 2nd down now, it's Hunt, and he'll get it down to the 47 here. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break.